Hi everyone, I'm Tricia and I'm founder of Look Fabulous Forever, and we make a range of products which are specifically formulated for older faces. I'm here today with my daughter Anna, and it's been really great fun actually working with Anna almost from day one when I started the business. But I have to say that it's one of the biggest pleasures of my life that I'm able to do this with actually my two daughters. And Anna is the older one, and she has just turned 50, which is a big milestone birthday for her, but it was a bit of a milestone birthday for me too. Anyway, Anna, tell us a little bit about how you got involved with Look Fabulous Forever in the first place.
Hi everyone, I'm Anna. I'm CEO of Look Fabulous Forever, and I've been working with Tricia in the business for 10 years now. I saw what you were doing and I could see that there was kind of traction there, and I was working in PR. My boys were really young, so they were 5 and 3 or something like that, and I felt that I could do with a change. I had no idea what was going to happen. I mean, it was literally just the two of us, sometimes in this room, and just coming up with things to do. And as a result, I got to learn all about the warehouse, the factory, the website. I taught myself how to do Facebook ads. It was a very, very steep learning curve. So it was a kind of leap into the unknown, but it proved to be a really fantastic thing to do.
I can actually remember the moment you called me. I was beginning to struggle a little bit. I mean, I'd been running everything within the business on my own for 6 months, and as you say, it had started to convince me, because I hadn't at all been convinced when I launched the business, that it had legs. It's like, interesting, and it was starting to be too much just for me. And also I had no idea how to grow it, how to take it from me as a one-woman band sitting at my dining room table to the next phase. It was a moment when I just thought, oh my goodness, that would be so brilliant to have another pair of hands, another pair of eyes, another brain, some more energy really. I doubt I'd have managed to develop into anything more if you hadn't joined. It was that important, that moment.
Yeah, and I suspected you might end up with a spare room full of makeup, having got bored after 6 months.
It was very cottage industry. I was literally putting things in envelopes and taking them down to the post office. And it was amateur, it was, as I say, cottage industry. But it was also, it had a dynamism about it. It had a feeling of potential.
Well, I think you'd hit a nerve around older women feeling completely ignored by the beauty industry and not being able to find products that worked on your skin. And fast forward 10 years, and now I'm actually 50 and approaching the kind of target group of women that we want to reach, and want to kind of to say to them, there is great makeup out there that will work on your skin. I think I've noticed the sort of, in terms of changes, my skin is a little bit drier, but it's just a bit more dull as well. When I look at young women's skin now, and I just think, oh, your skin glows, it's incredible. And I think as you get older, you just need the makeup to give you more dewiness and freshness and take away some of that dullness that comes with aging.
I think it's interesting what you're saying there about what you're noticing now at 50, because the premise of the business was always changes happen to a face which can be compensated for by the right skincare, of course. That's the foundations, but also the right makeup. And I still have, in fact it happened the other day, I still have journalists challenge me, well, why do you need different makeup? And it's like, if that premise that you do need different formulations, different products, different ways of doing your makeup as you get older, if that premise was false, the business would not have lasted. Because if if you're selling a lie, people find that lie out eventually. They'll say, well, this is no different from what I've always used, or this doesn't make me look any better. And what is interesting is how women get stuck with products that they've had for a long time.
I've got friends who will remain nameless who've had makeup since they got married, and most of my friends got married about 18, 19 years ago. there are people that get really stuck in a rut of doing the same thing, of using the same products, and also just not wearing makeup. I think sometimes even women my age at 50 just look a bit better with a bit of colour. Look less tired, less washed out, more kind of, what's the word?
Finished.
Finished, yeah, polished. So I think when you do wear makeup, yes, you look more polished and more finished, but actually it gives you confidence. And I think you found that a lot when you started and you were 65, that a lot of the women had lost their way in terms of confidence. And I think that can happen even at 50, that women start to kind of be slightly ignored and overlooked. So if you walk into a room and you're wearing a really bright lipstick, or your skin's glowing, or then it's a way for people to acknowledge you and to make you feel better about yourself.
100%. And I mean, it is the message of the brand, and it has been from day one, really, that, you know, our products work better on an older face. You know, some people say define an older face. Well, it's a face that is, you know, has recognisably, as you have said, you're aware of those changes, looking a bit tireder, your face looking slightly less fresh. I'm so excited actually to have you as part of our content creation team. It was something that you and I were chatting about one day, just after your birthday, and I just, you know, it was just like it almost came out organically out of the conversation. You actually said to me, I think, I'm wearing all our makeup today and you look terrific. And I think I said to you something like, well, this is crazy, you know, why don't you make a video showing how you've applied your makeup, because it looks really lovely on you. And, you know, people might be interested in this for themselves. I don't know, you know, what it's like amongst your friends, for instance, who are just turning 50, you know, are they really happy with the idea, or do you find that they're highly resistant to the notion?
I think it varies. I think for some, they absolutely don't want to acknowledge turning 50. They just want to let it kind of pass and just get on with their lives. And then other people are really having a big celebration. You know, I had a party and I really enjoyed it and really loved it. And I think that's what working in the business has really given me, is a sense of positivity around aging. So it's not something that I'm afraid of. In fact, I can see the huge benefits, knowing from all our lovely customers that are now without their children at home and have a lot more time for them to choose what to do, and they can travel and they can pursue their interests, and it's like, oh, that's over there, and hopefully we'll get there. At the moment it feels like it's, you know, quite hard work.
Yeah.
But that sense of optimism about the future definitely comes through from having worked in this business.
I love the idea that being part of Look Fabulous Forever for the last 10, 11 years means that your attitude to ageing is absolutely, completely different. It's shifted completely away from dread and fear and seeing it as a period of, you know, decline and all those other things that we associate with the idea of getting older, and actually saying, hang on a minute, there is a lot to look forward to here. There's a lot to anticipate with pleasure, the time when, you know, and you know, I'm living that life. I no longer have to worry about children. I love my grown children to bits, but they're not my direct responsibility anymore. I feel that you know, you and Susie and all the people that I love in my life are fine, they're okay, and it frees my mind up to indulge myself in all sorts of ways. Time, particularly, indulge myself in terms of time, and I love the fact that I've got that total freedom, and that to me is what being older means. It's kind of like a total freedom, and it's fantastic. And if I can get across to you the idea that that's what you have to look forward to. It's not about wrinkles, it's actually about choice, and it's also about some of the liberation that comes with being older that should not be underestimated.
The first product I started using was our blusher, cream to powder blusher, which is a really lovely formulation which you can build up. In fact, I sent it to one of my friends to try, and she absolutely loves it as well. Because it doesn't kind of. I've got getting some fine lines here, but you can move it around, and you can use a brush to make it really diffuse and really soft and really lovely. And the beauty balm I've really started getting into. It's a really nice light formulation. It's really easy to blend. I use a foundation brush to apply it, and I think it's not too heavy, but it has some coverage in it, but it's not too heavy.
I am still very attached to matte eyeshadows. I think with my eyes, because they're really definitely much creepier now. My eyes have changed shape completely over the last 15-20 years, and I find creating the shape that I want with my eyes much easier if I'm sticking with the matte eyeshadows. I just think it's horses for courses, but what is absolutely brilliant is that we have the whole range. You know, you at 50, me at 77 now. That within the Look Fabulous Forever range, there is something perfect for both of us that really suits us and makes us feel good. What's also brilliant is that you're doing a lot of this by creating content for us. So,
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, I never thought in a million years I would get in front of the camera and start making videos, but I just thought, well, why not give it a go? And I actually really enjoy it. It's really creative and quite fun, and I quite like the kind of before and after effects of it. And yeah, if I can help women of my age to feel a bit more confident and better about themselves, then I'm delighted.
Yeah, I mean, it's what we do with our videos, it's what we've done from day one. But what I love about what you're doing is that, you're showing all these products and the way that they can be used. It's a huge part of my life, working with Anna. I love it. I love every moment of it. It adds such an important dimension to my life. Would I want to still be working as I do in the business at my age, without her there and without my other daughter as well? Possibly not, because that family connection is incredibly important to me, and it's just a massive pleasure. I'm also loving seeing the videos that she's producing, so do look for those. I think they're brilliant. I would say that, proud mum, but they are. And of course, if you don't want to miss any of our content, please subscribe to our channel. It makes a huge difference to us, and it really makes sure that the moment that a new video lands, you get to hear about it. So thanks for doing that. Thanks for listening today, and yeah, bye-bye.